Hello, friends. Rome, the colossus of the ancient world, seemed unstoppable. Its legions thundered across continents, its roads tied distant lands together like a spiderweb of power, and its cities buzzed with energy. But if there's one thing history loves to whisper, or sometimes shout, it's this: even giants can trip. At first glance, Rome's rise seems like a recipe for world domination. Discipline? Check. Engineering marvels? Check. Political cunning that would make a fox jealous? Double check. The Roman Senate played the game of power like a grand chess match. Generals like Julius Caesar rolled their dice, sometimes literally, and gambled for glory. Emperors like Augustus crafted an image of Rome as eternal, unbreakable, a shining beacon of civilization. And yet, beneath all that marble and might, there were tiny cracks, cracks that widened, cracks that eventually swallowed an empire whole. One major lesson Rome teaches us: power can be as fragile as a clay amphora, beautiful, impressive, and one accidental knock away from shattering. Corruption seeped into the Senate like water into stone. Political leaders often cared more about their own pockets than the good of the republic. Sound familiar? Meanwhile, over-reliance on slaves meant innovation slowed. Why invent new machines when you had endless hands to do the work? The Roman economy, too, became wobbly. Coins were mixed with cheaper metals, leading to inflation. You might have walked into the market with a handful of silver, only to find you could barely afford a crust of bread. And let's not forget the endless backstabbing parade of emperors. Rome saw rulers who were brilliant and rulers who were bananas, sometimes literally believing themselves to be gods. We're looking at you, Caligula. Then came the external pressures. Germanic tribes pressing the frontiers, the Sassanid Persians flexing their muscles in the east, and eventually whole migrations that Rome simply couldn't repel. Rome tried to patch things up, reforming armies, moving capitals, making deals. But patches aren't enough when the whole cloak is unraveling. In the end, the mighty empire wasn't conquered all at once in some climactic battle. It drifted, fractured, eroded, like a once mighty river slowly drying under the sun. Still, Rome's story isn't just about falling. It's about how power must be cared for, wisely, humbly, and creatively, or it will slip away like sand through your fingers. Rome's greatest gift to us might not be its roads, aqueducts, or grand speeches. It might just be its warning. Strength without wisdom invites collapse. Pride without foresight builds ruin. Yet amid all the tales of political blunders and military defeats, one question lingers. What else did Rome lose along the way? Next time, we'll dig into the cleverness and creativity that once made Rome sparkle, inventions, ideas, and ingenuity that somehow slipped through the cracks of history. Join us as we uncover the forgotten brilliance in Rome's lost inventions, ingenuity forgotten. Because sometimes, the things we forget reveal just as much as the things we remember.